Hey guys, this is Dallas Stone here doing a Let's 3D model. I guess this is episode like 100 something, so I decided I'm gonna go start doing these again, just because I feel, if I want to continue to put content out, this is probably the best way to go, and and this way you guys kind of get to see what's kind of been going on, and I'm gonna try and do it so that if I'm not doing these Let's 3D models, that you guys that there's gonna be some weekly updates and stuff like that for you guys. I think I'm gonna start doing just so you guys can see what I've been able or what I've been doing. So I'm creating a brand new scene. So a lot of you guys have noticed or know, if you guys have been watching the previous episodes, that I've been creating this scene, and I learned a crap ton. I learned so much about Substance Designer. I've learned so much about Substance Painter. I've learned so much about Unreal, and so I feel like, okay, time to do this from scratch. Okay, there's a lot of lessons that I learned, and things were getting really messy, and I wasn't able to. I felt like I was getting trapped, like I couldn't finish the scene. So I want to narrow down my focus so that my focus is going to be the kitchen, and I'm gonna use this as inspiration. I'm not gonna look at this reference, and then that's what the reference or that's what the final goal is going to be. It's going to be used as inspiration. So this video is going to be a lot of just like BSP blocking. So hopefully uh, hopefully that's okay with you guys. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's okay with you guys or not. I'm going to be doing it regardless. So this is kind of the first step, and this is honestly new to me. I mean, I never really used to do this step this way, and I've just been watching a lot of stuff, and I've been like, man, this is a good way to do it. So so I'm gonna start doing it this way, I think. So I'm just gonna BSP block this. So that's a pretty good height, I think, for a counter. So I'm just gonna block in the counter and stuff like that for now, and I think that that's a pretty good block in for that counter. So I'm gonna duplicate and then create another one over here on this side, and I think yeah, there we go. So hopefully you guys notice the higher quality in audio. I have some new equipment now, and hopefully it you guys can hear it through the new mics. And so I'm just going to duplicate that, and I feel like I should rotate this. So if you guys notice the pivot point is off now, so I'm gonna try and get this to come a little bit closer to the pivot point. Sorry, not the pivot point, but whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter. So this is the top. Just going to go like that. Alright, so there is my counter space. It actually feels a little bit cramped. I like there's not that much room. So I'm going to take this and just move it a little bit more. Just give it some more space, I think. There. I think they feel a little bit more comfortable like that. Right, now two people can work inside the kitchen easily. I'm gonna have it so that this counter, I'm gonna offset it just a tad bit, just so that there's some more interest going on here. I also think that that's how, I mean, it's probably about the same actually. If anything, it's actually on the other side. So I'm just going to so I'm actually just going to leave it the way that it is. So I'm just going to delete this. Gonna bring this back up. Alright, so we got the counter space. Now we want the walls. So for the walls, what I'm going to do here, I'm so used to pressing backspace from Maya. Oops, sorry. I need to create a new actor. And I wish there's a way to, there's got to be a way to center pivot your BSP. I'm just going to quickly check that here. In my notes, really important to write notes. I always write notes every single time I find something, so I'm surprised that I didn't have my Evernotes. Center pivot, select your BSP, go to geometry editing mode. You can alt middle, restrict the view to move pivot wherever you like. Oh, okay, so I can just no. BSP editing, you can alt middle mouse click. Alt middle mouse click. Alt middle mouse click. No, that doesn't work. If you right click on brush, go to pivot. Oh, right click on, go to, is this old? UE4, no. Center BSP pivot. In the orthographic view, right click on the brush and go to pivot. Save pivot to pre-pivot. They remove this function from the perspective view. So if I go here, where is that? Pivot. Reset. Pivot offset. No. Pivot. Set pivot off or center on selection. Oh, there we go. See, so there you go, guys. Again, this is the reason why I have notes, and I'm actually gonna edit my notes right now. Here, I'll show you guys quickly my notes, right? So center BSP pivot. I wrote this in January, February, March, April. I wrote this in April of last year, and this is exactly why. So I'm just gonna go orthographic view. I'm just gonna go right click on BSP, and then I will go what was it, pivot, I think it was, pivot. Under pivot, go to center on selection. Pivot, center on selection. Sorry if the mic is kind of I'm accidentally banging it while I'm like typing, and so I just want to apologize for that. Okay, and I'm just gonna save this and I'm gonna sync it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna move that to the side. I just figured I'd show you guys that I do use Evernote, and it doesn't matter what software you're using for writing your notes, but I always write notes. It's just a thing that I do. So let's see here. So let's have the ceiling, you know, a pretty decent ceiling height, right? I think that would be nice. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good ceiling height, I think. Nah, maybe a bit taller. Let's make this a little tad bit taller. Let's put it up that high. And then because we gotta have like lighting and stuff like that as well. So so yeah, figured I'd just make that relatively high there. So now we have that. So that's another BSP. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm just gonna rotate it, and if you notice, I'm using the grid, right, and just snapping it to the grid. Just makes things a lot easier. And I'm just going to duplicate that and go like that. And I'm just gonna center pivot on selection again, just to make it easier. Pivot, center on selection, and then I'm just gonna pivot set so now if I click off it, Okay, yeah. Oh, that's okay. That's pretty cool. So after I've centered on selection. Go to set as pivot offset. So I'm just gonna write that down. Um, set as pivot offset. So sorry, you guys, if I'm going a little bit slower and you guys are kind of seeing everything that I'm doing. Obviously, it's a video, so if you guys don't like seeing everything that I'm doing, you can just fast forward or whatever you guys want to do. All right, so we got that. We definitely want a ceiling, so we'll do that as well. Do I want to rotate this? I could just rotate it. No, let's not get lazy here. I'm just going to I can't. I'll just rotate it. Rotate it 90 degrees. Move this upwards towards here, and this almost closes it off. Just going to do that, and there we go. So now we have the ceiling. It's almost there. That's the top part. I'm just going to grab these vertices, bring them in, and there we have it. We have our little contained little space. I think we want the walls to go a little bit further than just there. So we'll go there and there. Wait, where was that? Oh, that was going down. What am I doing? That's the floor. This is the upper one. So we want these to maybe extend a bit more. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to extend it a tad bit more. And then have these vertices extend a tad bit more as well. Alright, so now we have this guy kind of just hanging out here. And we have kind of like our scene. So this is like our scene here. It's going to be inside here. So we need some windows, obviously, because this is pretty bare. And so I'm just going to create some subtractive volumes, I guess it's called. So wait a minute, hold on. Hold on. So this is additive. This is gonna be subtractive, and obviously right now it's way too big. Oh no, what happened? Let's cancel that. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the vertices here, and we'll have the windows about here. So let's just go like that. So there's a window. Maybe the window's a little bit too big. I'll just scale it down just a tad bit more. There. So I have a window there, and what we'll do is we'll have another window as well. I was gonna press Control W again, or Control D again. Center pivot, and then pivot, set as pivot. There you go. So I'm noticing that already these aren't snapping. So I don't I don't know what happened. Do you guys see what I hope you guys see what I mean here. This is not even snapping anymore to the grid, which is not what I want. I want it to snap to the grid. So let me see. Right, I want to snap to the grid. Come on, guys. Yeah, so it's definitely it didn't like something. So I'm just going to select it. I'm just going to delete it, and I'm just going to. Can I just set the pivot, center pivot, like that? Move it. Yeah, it just didn't. I guess it just didn't like something. I'm just gonna move it out of the way. maybe that's why. And I'm just going to center pivot and pivot set as offset. Okay, well, it's okay. I can just do it like this. If it wants to be like that, I'll just go like this, and we'll have another window here. Maybe because this is a little bit more sci-fi, I can create like a window that's kind of like, see, like this is where we get to play around a little bit more and be a little bit more creative. So let's just quickly see how this would look if I just did that. Like, that's pretty cool, but you know, when you do things like this, you have to realize that you're gonna have to do, there's gonna be more work, right? You got to create a vista or whatever outside. So this is creating a little bit more work, and so you kind of have to realize that. So I think I'm gonna keep it as a small window over here, and then I'm gonna have this a lot smaller as well, and just to kind of keep the workload not so crazy, so that we can actually get this done in a realistic time frame. Alright, so so we have that there. I'm going to create another BSP block just to kind of block this off, and even though I'm not going to see this other side, I want to try and make it as realistic as possible. So I'm going to finish off, because if you look at the reference image, you'll see that, you know, this is still kind of going here. So I'm just going to continue to do that as well. And let's see, what am I doing? What am I doing? Select the BSP. Let's get this going. And I'm gonna extend this. This is a piece, like I said, it's not a piece that I care too much about. This is kind of like the external piece. I'm just trying to close it off, right, so that we get a more realistic kind of lighting. And because this piece is not, like, I don't really care for it that much, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna just end up when I create like this wall here, I'm just gonna start duplicating it around and just like reusing that same wall. So I'm just going to go like that. There we go. And so even though like the camera view is just gonna be like right here, right? So I'm just going to, oh, I just duplicated a bunch. I didn't want that. Yeah, see, the rotating, it definitely doesn't like rotating, so I'm gonna stop rotating and just do it old school with my by pushing the vertices. And I'll have this ceiling cover the top part. Alright, so there we go. So now we have that. And what I'll do is I'll put in a window here too, actually. I'll put in a window there as well. So I was tempted to do it again. Stop myself. So on this side, what I can do is I can do a few things, right? I can play, because no one's gonna see that much into here, so I'm gonna trying to be sneaky here and just create maybe kind of like a little window here like that. And hopefully it should create some cool lighting. What I can do is I can bring this up a little bit more. Oh, sorry. Grab that. Grab those verts. There we go. And I mean, what I can do is I can even move these some more and maybe have 3. Whoops, sorry, not what I want to do. Select 1, duplicate it, and yeah, the beauty of blocking in your level first is you kind of get to see like already I'm noticing that there's a space of 5 and 4 here, so this isn't gonna work out so well, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so let's see. So this is how our level's turning out. This auto exposure thing is just crazy, and I really feel like I need to turn that off, because that's just craziness. Okay, so so there we go. So now we got our room kind of done, and now we need some stuff, some assets and some props. So but for now, at least our room is kind of done, and I will stop it here. Actually, you know what, I'll do a quick light I'll build the lighting just to kind of see how the lighting looks like. Apply now. Okay, well, that's what the lighting looks like. It looks very dark in here, and yep, it's like super dark in here. So I'm definitely gonna have to play around with the lighting a little bit more, obviously, and maybe not have it I'm wondering where, so it's shooting there. Okay, let's build it again. So it's obviously looking super dark. Looks almost like a daytime or like a afternoon setting or something like that. Okay, so still quite dark. What happens if I rotate it so that the light is coming this way? So I can do that, but then there's no lighting coming from the back. Yeah, so I mean, again, this is all lighting stuff, right? So we can go and have like a really, this is super moody now, right? This is like a super moody kind of scene now. But it's really dark. I'm trying to see the lighting here and why it's super dark like this. Light shafts, light mass, cascade, light functions. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a lighter. I would definitely need to go and look at a bunch of tutorials on Unreal Lighting, and then. But for now, that's pretty much all I have. This is BSP blocking out in Unreal. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and see you guys again soon. Bye now.